We're packed, Bridget. Let's go. What do you mean? Where are we going? Well, we talked about our bird trip, just to see some native bird species. We're gonna go across to Alice, up to Cape, Columbaroo, Tasmania, back to Alice, and hopefully, I'm hoping we will find at least 3 main species I'm looking for. The magpie, the plover, and where is it? I had a book somewhere on my phone. The ibis. Sorry, I couldn't remember that one. Can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited. So come on, let's go. Well, we don't need to go to all those places just to see those natives. How about this? Instead of going all those places and, you know, using all those kilometers on the troopy that you're packing of my car, not yours, for some reason, maybe it's better. How about I show you how to attract the native birds into our local backyard? How's that sound? So we just landed in here, and this house is 70% of the world. The size and the weight of him. Because our alpine dingoes. Woo! Now, what is the first thing that every living being needs? Water. So in your backyard or on your property, you can place water at different points. So obviously somewhere, if you have pets, that your pets don't hang around, and have them at different levels as too. So you can have something like this on the ground, or something at a higher point, or you can actually just leave water bowls like normal. Look how good I am. I have some examples. Oh, you go. What do you think of this? This is great. This is an old oven bowl or whatever it's called. Yeah, and you know what about these guys? You probably pick them up from the op shop pretty easy. Yeah. Alright. And I do have some other examples here as well. But this stainless steel, not true preferred. Gets really hot. Yeah. Something like ceramic bowls last a bit longer and don't get as much temperamental in the heat. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you clean them out regularly because they will get pretty dirty. Yeah, you can get a fancy looking native one like this, but this is just fine. And also, if you do have something pretty deep, they're all relatively shallow, these examples. But if you have something deep, make sure you have like a flotation device in it. So if something does get in there and then can't get out as easy, they can at least climb onto that dry point, dry out, and then possibly fly off. We have seen that before, haven't we? So, and also to help other wildlife species, not just birds, come into your local backyard. So that's your first tip. Cool. Next one. Next one. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, look at this. Such a good example. This leads us to number 2 on the list. Native trees. Yeah, this one's been here for ages. Actually, our mum and dad, because we share the same parents, planted this one. For example, it's even bringing the native bugs around. Show them. Look at us. I don't know how well it will. Oh well, they'll get the gist anyway. We will go back to it. Anyway, so planting native flora is a really good idea to attract your native birds in. It's a good food source. Yeah, so normally these will like be big red flowers. But also, so if they're gum trees as well, if you got a big enough property for those things. And also like small like other bottle bushes, so like lily pillies as well. Coverage and all that sort of stuff. So they provide food source, but also shelter and potentially nesting areas as well. But make sure you look up. Excuse me. Make sure you look up your local area. Don't hurt it. It's okay. Be gentle. Make sure you look up your local area to see what are those native species. Yeah. Even maybe some folks at your local nurseries will probably know, and also even Bunnings. Well, Bridget, you've convinced me. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. No, don't do that. No, it's rather, this is a silly place. Oh my god. Well, let's go plant some. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Here. Let's do it. Like Bridget, imagine if humans acted like dogs, like at the fence. Excuse me, this is my fence, this is my yard, excuse me, this is my yard, please don't come in. No, excuse me, look how tough I am. Excuse me, oh my god. Excuse me, Excuse me. This is when you avoid this person's property when this is happening. Excuse me. Now, this brings me on to number 3. Okay? And it's having a fence. It's as simple as that. Have a stick. Why? Can you throw it for me, please? Would having a fence attract birds in? Okay? Well, 2 big reasons. Number 1, in that yard, you can have specific places for birds to purchase on that the dogs can't get to. Because there's mainly going to be dogs, right? Okay? So you can have them up high, and it's like a bit of a safe spot for the birds to sit. Now also, the thing is, with fences, it keeps your dogs in, but also keeps other things out. Well, most of the time. It's a big deterrent anyway. So things like brush turkeys and other birds will kind of like know that this is not where to go, and other places on your property is their spot to roam. So it's like dual purpose. Dog. Look, as a professional dog trainer, Bridget, I actually see heaps of, yeah, I know, professional. There's many benefits to a yard as well. Oh, don't get us started. So many benefits. I mean, not just for the environment, but actually bad behaviors that maybe you're trying to get your dog to stop, such as chasing vehicles, jumping on people, maybe terrorizing their neighbors. You know, there's so many pros to having a yard and keeping your dog protected. Anyway, on to number 4. Yes, 4? Do it. Yes. Ready? Hurry up. So good. Maybe one dog was semi-interested then. Yeah. Oh my God. There's nothing safe about a safety visor if you can't see a thing with it. Number 4. We have nesting boxes. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a nest, a box where they can lay nests. So this is a really good way you can attract native birds and other animals into your property. So these 2 here, as an example, are pretty conventional looking nesting boxes made out of plywood. With these, you just have to check on them, you know, after a while, because they can start rotting, and you know, you don't want the animals to fall through the bottom. It wouldn't be a good day. But there's other ways you can make nesting boxes. That you can use palm fronds, a bamboo, all these things. I'll put a few photos up around the screen now so you can have a look. And I'm sure there's a lot of other YouTube videos showing you how to make nesting boxes too. Maybe if I find any good ones, I'll link them in the description below. And I'm pretty sure you can figure out why nesting boxes are great, especially with a lot of trees getting cut down with those hollow logs. They're really important for animals to breed in and, you know, raise their young. And this is a supplement for that. So we'll leave it to it and move on to number 5. Again, how often should you clean this? I think you should do that. Oh gosh, this is scary. Number 5. So it's all to do with this predator here. Not a natural predator, obviously. This, my friends, is a cat. A lot of people have cats as pets. And, well, they like to chew on and kill and feast on native birds a lot of the time. So, this is a really easy way. We're going to take this guy out of the situation in nature. That means either 1, keeping your cats indoors, and, you know, for the majority of the time anyway. And second thing is, you can also build an outdoor cat enclosure, which is a really good one. I think that's fascinating. Or, if you do need to take them outside, and, you know, want to control where they're going, you could harness train them. I feel like he's gonna bite me. Look at him. Okay, so there you go. This is really, I'm really passionate about this tip. I also feel like I'm about to get severely harmed. Oh, look at it. How does this work? He's got angry tail on at the moment, just so you know.
Really
Go
does.
Chaos!
Oh.
Now, having a manicured area where your dogs and pets and kids can be is a really good thing to have on your property. But to attract the native bird life in, what you could have is a pretty feral area, a native area. Let the wild take over. Creates a lot of hiding spots for the birds to live in. You know, a lot of ground cover for the birds to forage on the ground. It also increases the bug life, especially if like leaves like decaying and all that sort of stuff. And you know what? For some people, it really draws the wild out. This is where we get super crazy. Wow, dang! You make my heart sing. Everything groovy. I don't know if that's the lyrics. Oh well. Wow, dang! Oh. Wow! Thank you very much. Well guys, that wraps up this week's video. Oh well, fortnight's video. And I mean, what are you doing? I've got a log at the station. Now kids, don't fight. That was so close to my hand. Oh my gosh. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, you guys didn't mention feeding your native birds, and there's a good reason for that. Oh, do you want me to say something? Yes. Okay, alright. Well, there's a few main reasons, guys. Number one, the food for each species can be really different. And most of the time when we give them food, we're not aware of that knowledge, which can cause a lot of health problems to those birds and also their young. Birds are very specific with what nutrition they require. It's like examples like feeding lorikeets honey, feeding mainly sort of insect or meat-eating birds bread.
Or dog roll.
Yeah, so all that sort of stuff, okay? So all these other things can really indirectly help supply food in your local area, which is then gonna help these blokes. Planting like bottle brushes is a really good food source for lorikeets. So you can help them come in and give them a food source, but you're not actually doing it, making sure they're doing it themselves, which is also the second reason, not just nutritionally and health-wise. The second reason is making sure they don't get dependent on you. Because when you move, what are they gonna do if you move houses? Or, you know, it can cause other bad behaviors as well. Yes, especially with some birds. Yes. But like always, guys, we actually listed 5 things that you can do to help our environment. But you're welcome. Let's do 2 more. Why not? It's a thing now that we do.
No.
Okay? No. Come here. Stop it, Jerry. Come here. Jerry's trying to be the camera operator. Yes. Alright, number 1, we're talking desexing your pets, and particularly your dogs and cats. But also, well, let's highlight your dogs a bit more. There's simply enough dogs in the world, guys, and when you do get a dog, try and get it from a registered breeder or a rescue. These things can really, really help our native environment and promote good dog owning. Believe it or not, rescues and pet keeping. Rescues and breeders actually know what they're doing, and that's really important. There's a lot more to having puppies, and it's a big subject. It's a big subject. But keep it to the professionals or the people who have experience anyway. Yes. Number 2, we talked about planting native trees, but what about making sure that you're aware of our pest flora species, so our weeds around the place? This is a really simple thing that we can do, and you know, it can also, well, our pest flora can be quite a big pain to our, not only our animals, but also our other flora species. Oh, you been like ranger? Ranger man, don't you dare. Okay. Alright guys, we'll see you next fortnight. Catch you next time. Over. Bye. Taking them out of that situation of where a native bird could get eaten or killed by one of our cats. So, look, a lot of people... Ah! Oh my god, you bit my nail.
No more cats anymore.